So the president of Iran died in a helicopter crash yesterday, and they're shooting fireworks to celebrate. Now, the big message here is it doesn't matter how much you scare, trick, or force people into liking you when you're in power. What matters is if they're shooting fireworks when you die. Note to Putin, Trump, Netanyahu, Modi. When Trump finally dies, it's going to be like 4th of July 2 in America. It's going to be like the 8th of July. It's going to be like 4th of July times 100. We're going to celebrate so much, not just because it's be such a big relief, but because it'd be the greatest threat to America, far greater than King George ever was at the beginning of America, at the possible end. And to be relieved of that will be so wonderful. We'll celebrate in ways that make all other celebrations look like nothing. But he should know that now. Like, he won't be around to see it, but he should know it now that Americans will celebrate his death like nothing we've ever celebrated before. It'll be our new Independence Day from Putin, from the threat that he's presented. And while people are happy that the president of Iran is dead because he was the butcher of Tehran who killed and maimed thousands of people, Trump murdered millions of people with Putin's lies about Trump virus, murdered countless more by hyping up police brutality, lynchings, and all the other white supremacist stuff that he not just stands for and supports, but is the source of, or the prime motivator of, in America today on Putin's behalf. Now, Netanyahu immediately responded to the news of Raisi's death by saying, "We didn't do it," which sounds pretty guilty for one thing, but also he has to say that because they've been genociding and assassinating so many people recently that they're the most likely suspect, the people you first turn to. And no matter what the cause of the accident, if it was an accident or the assassination was, no matter who the source is, there will be enough people to put the blame on Netanyahu to say that it was a Netanyahu assassination to call for a Netanyahu assassination. Hopefully they can just arrest him, just like Trump. He'll be a lot safer in jail, like all Putin puppets. They'll be a lot safer in jail. Hopefully they can arrest him before any assassination is carried out. But if they do assassinate Netanyahu, it'll be doing everybody such a favor, and everybody will be such a likely suspect. I mean, so many people will have wanted that, from people within Israel to people from around the world, that it'll be like the biggest game of Clue ever to know who did it. But Iran has a valid motive now, or people in Iran have that valid motive now. And if they're trying to start World War III with assassination of world leaders, I think we should all be very clear that most of these leaders probably deserve it, and we're not going to start a war over it. We're just going to start a party over it. And that's what we can do to let people know, hey, however many people you force to like you, we don't like you now. And when we're free of your rule and free of your tyranny, it'll be better for everybody. Modi called. Modi was the first person to call with condolences because he knows he rides helicopters. And so does Putin, and so does Trump, and so does Netanyahu. And it's time for them all to be on notice that we'll all be glad when they're all gone. And one by one, they can see what happens to the other ones and see the celebrations that ensue and realize that that's what their future holds too, even if they won't be around to see it by the time we finally get to do it. Hopefully, this will be a message to some of these people to break away from this terrible network of nationalists who are threatening not just to destroy the entire world, but each of their countries and the people in them individually. And the celebration for the death of Raisi and the end of his particular regime or path to the presidency or whatever. And it could very well be that Iran just 9/11 or October 7th themselves in order to start a war, and for internal politics reasons, that somebody else wanted his spot, wanted to take power. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether it's karma, kudos to karma if it was, or whether it's Mother Nature, thanks Mother Nature, but you missed a spot. You still got Putin, Netanyahu, Trump, Modi, and some others out there. It doesn't matter who did it. It can be blamed different ways to try to manipulate people, but we have to make sure that we're not the ones who are manipulated. It's always been evil leaders against the rest of us all this time anyway, so let's go ahead and turn the tables on them. Let the evil leaders be the ones who are scared about what's going to happen to them and how much we're going to celebrate when they're gone. And let's enjoy ourselves. Let's have a party. Let's overthrow tyrants from bed, as I call it, the pillow revolution. We can do it with love. We can do it with bed. We can do it from bed. We can do it on our phones. Let's overthrow the tyrants from bed by just enjoying the fact that they are going down. Another aspect of the Pillow Revolution is we do it in our sleep because they'll do it to themselves. And while Trump called them clever, they flew a 50